Welcome to Learn and Success, where real stories spark real inspiration. Today, we bring you a powerful, life-changing story, one that starts from the very last bench of a classroom and rises all the way to success. It's a journey of struggle, hope, and unstoppable determination. So sit back, open your heart, and get ready to be inspired. Title: The Last Bench Boy. Ravi sat quietly in the last row of the classroom, staring out the window while the teacher explained a math problem on the board. His books were open, but his mind was miles away, lost in the silence that surrounded him every day. He was the kind of student everyone overlooked, the one teachers barely noticed and classmates barely remembered. They called him the last bench boy. Every morning, Ravi would leave his small, broken house in the slums and walk 5 kilometers to school with worn-out shoes and an empty stomach. His father, once a factory worker, had lost his job due to an accident. His mother washed clothes in rich people's houses to feed the family. They had dreams once, but now survival was the only dream that mattered. Ravi didn't talk much. He was shy, quiet, and often judged for being slow or uninterested. But what no one knew was that behind those silent eyes burned a fire, a longing to become someone better, someone his parents could be proud of. One rainy day, a new teacher named Mr. Arjun entered the classroom. He was young, full of energy, and had a spark in his eyes. He began teaching not just from the book, but from life. He would tell stories of people who rose from nothing to achieve greatness. One such story about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam changed something inside Ravi. That night, Ravi couldn't sleep. The story kept repeating in his mind. A newspaper boy became the president of India. He thought, if he can do it, maybe I can too. The next day, Ravi did something he had never done before. He raised his hand to answer a question. The class laughed. "Oh, the last bench boy has woken up," one student mocked. But Mr. Arjun silenced them and said gently, "Let him speak." Ravi's voice trembled, but he answered correctly. Mr. Arjun smiled and nodded. That one moment, just a teacher's encouragement, changed his life. From that day, Ravi started staying back after school, asking questions, borrowing books from the library, and studying late into the night under a flickering bulb. His mother noticed the change and quietly gave him her only gold bangle to buy a secondhand tablet for online classes. Years passed. Ravi's hard work began to reflect in his results. He topped his class in 10th grade. His story spread like wildfire. The last bench boy who became the first. The same classmates who once laughed at him now looked up to him. He cracked the entrance exam for a prestigious engineering college with a scholarship. But he didn't stop there. In college, he worked part-time in a cafe, tutored juniors, and even sold handmade crafts online to support his family. Failure knocked often, but he kept standing up, stronger every time. One night during his final year, Ravi sat on the hostel terrace, looking at the stars. He remembered his father's tears when he couldn't buy medicine, his mother's cracked hands washing clothes, and the days he skipped meals. He whispered to himself, "I didn't come this far to stop now." After graduation, Ravi was offered a job in a big tech company. His first salary wasn't spent on himself. It was spent on buying a new sari for his mother and a walking stick for his father. He moved them to a better house, not luxurious, but filled with peace and dignity. Years later, Ravi returned to his school, not as a student, but as a chief guest at the annual function. Standing on the stage, looking at the last bench, he saw a shy boy sitting just like he once did. Ravi smiled and said during his speech, Everyone remembers the toppers, but sometimes the last bench hides the strongest warriors. Never judge someone by where they sit. I was once the last bench boy too. Today, I'm an engineer, a dreamer, and most importantly, a believer. Believe in yourself, even if no one else does. There was silence in the hall, followed by thunderous applause and tears. Mr. Arjun, now older and retired, sat in the audience with pride in his eyes. He had planted a seed years ago, and now it had grown into a tree giving shade to others. Moral of the story: your background doesn't define your future. One small spark, one act of kindness, or one belief in yourself can change everything. Never stop believing. Even if the world ignores you, your struggle will one day become your story. Thank you for watching this heart-touching story of the last bench boy. Remember, no matter where you start, with belief and effort, you can reach incredible heights. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Learn and Success, where every story brings you one step closer to your dreams. Keep learning, keep growing, because success begins with you.